That was fun at the end. I'm just really proud of our kids. That was it's hard to win like that after losing that lead. And Chase having a tough game. He's played great all year, but he didn't play as well tonight, and obviously fouled out in the overtimes. And was just a really good team win. We had a bunch of guys step up. Even our young guys got some time in the first half. I thought Josh got in there and had to play a lot late. Great to see PJ, play the way that we know he can. It was just happy for him. A young man that's working as hard as he is. He's still not all the way back, but he's just got great hands and touch, and he was a difference maker. And then the leadership and toughness and will to win inside Hunter Tyson is, that's part of the reason why we won. He just wouldn't let our guys lose. He tried to give us confidence in every huddle and timeout, and this was hard fought against a very good team. They are an excellent offensive team for sure, and a good defensive team in a lot of ways, positionally. So they're going to win a bunch of games. Congratulate their kids. I mean, the radio guys, Tim, told me that there was one turnover by both teams in the last 24 minutes. That's remarkable under that stress. The frustrating thing, obviously, we could have gotten a couple rebounds and finished the game. But, we had that lead and we never turned it over to lose the lead. We just missed free throws. We did that at NC State several years ago one time, where we made a bunch of things against the press, handled it, and then just didn't make the free throws. And so, it's hard to get mad at your kids for missing free throws. But anyway, this was fantastic, and I appreciate everybody that came out. It was a big win.
How big was it to have those two guys on the floor, though, in those overtime periods?
Hunter and PJ?
Yeah.
Oh, it's huge. Yeah, I mean, they're big-time players. They've been in battles for us. Alex, too. Alex, he hit a huge shot at the beginning of we ran a play for him at the beginning of the second overtime, and he banged it in right at the, beginning to give us the three-point lead. Just their experience, right? Those guys have been in this gym, won games like that before. You need it, and it takes a lot of good players to win. I mean, it's funny. Kind of tell your young guys that's how hard it is to win basketball games. Like, that's how hard it is against good teams. It's hard to win just games. Like, it's hard, and that's incentive to the young guys on the work that they got to do to get better so that they can be a big part of the win.
Brad, up 7 with 51 seconds left, they come back and tie this. What do you learn about your team being able to overcome that and still be able to find a way to win?
Yeah, I need to go back and watch it all. Obviously, there were some scenarios where we got a miss and we had chances. Ian had one he's got to get. We had a couple rebounding opportunities we didn't get. It's hard because they're so good at the three, so you're guarding the three as best you can. Well, then, obviously, they're going to drive it to the basket, right, because everybody's guarding the three. That's what all good teams do. And then their guards are big and strong. And so now you're one-on-one against a big, strong guard, so he's probably going to get it in there too. So really, they're going to score in a short amount of time and if you do get them to miss, you better grab that rebound because they're not going to miss many. It's the whole thing of, there's momentum and they're just going to go right at you. And we did the same thing in some games. We did a little bit against Iowa. Go right at them. We did a little bit against South Carolina. And the other team on defensively, you're on your heels just a touch because you're guarding the three so much. And it's hard. But if you don't guard the three against them, I mean, it's lights out. Sometimes there's 5 guys out there that 4 of them are 40% shooters. I mean, it's a challenge. So anyway, that was challenging. We weren't always pretty. Obviously, the free throw misses are what, if we made one more free throw, you're playing the free throw game from the standpoint of, hey, we're up 4. Well, a 3 doesn't do anything. You just make one. Like Brevin needed to make one. Just make one. And you got to believe he's going to make one. I mean, 2 shots is not the bonus. And so anyway, he didn't. But again, the resiliency our kids show to fight through 2 overtimes to win is pretty damn impressive.
How much fire did y'all come out with in the second half, and how much was Hunter Tyson?
He was some of it, and I was some of it. This was one of the few times that I really went after him at halftime a little bit because I challenged him before the game. I told him this is a physical, strong team. You know, we're just not physically very strong right now. PJ's not full healthy. You know, Hunter's not a big, strong guy at his position. You know, we're a little smaller when we play some of these teams. And their guys aren't tall, a lot of them, but, man, they all look like they're linebackers. I mean, you know, their point guard, Pickett, is like 6'4", 208 or something. But, I mean, he's, you know, that's how he plays. He's got that physical game. And so we've been getting out-toughed a little, out-physicaled a little bit. We have trouble rebounding sometimes. You know, we haven't gotten much help, you know, with some guys officiating in one of the games that cost us, I felt. Disappointed in that. But we just didn't play. I challenged our guys that we're going to have to play extremely hard and physical, and we didn't in the first half. Not enough to win. And it's fighting through screens. It's, you know, we were getting pushed out in our post-ups. Our post-ups were too far away from the basket. You know, offensive execution in terms of cutting hard and drawing fouls on situations where you're playing so aggressively downhill that you're creating contact and you're the aggressor. And even though we're not as physical, our mentality has to be aggressive. And so I was really upset with my team at halftime because of that's what I talked about all yesterday and today, and we didn't do it enough. And I thought Hunter Tyson then reiterated that message throughout the second half and overtimes.
Chase going 1 for 12 is still finding a way with other guys stepping up, and then just the play of Josh after he fouled out.
Yeah, it was really important, you know, and I think just getting Josh to understand running your team, making solid basketball plays, you know, you don't need to throw a bomb, you know, you can check down. And the guys are open and throw it to him. And, like, throw the ball to P.J. Hall, right? I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. The guy's pretty good. We need to get it to him. But running your team and doing that, you know, isn't as easy as it looks. And just being disciplined to make good basketball decisions takes some experience. You haven't had to do that your whole life. You've been more athletic, and you can just go make plays whenever you want. And now that's not the case. And so his discipline was really good in the second overtime.
Even though it makes sense to have PJ on the bench like regulation because they're small, is it still hard to have that force?
Yeah, it is. But PJ is still, like, it's, you know, playing multiple minutes is hard for him. I mean, he's asking to come out some, right? And then there are just times that we got to get him out before because he just can't quite get what he needs to get done all the time. You know, but when he was fresh tonight, he was a handful, right? He's always got the great hands and the great touch. And for him to make a couple shots in the first half to get his confidence back. He's had a hard couple of weeks. He's had some things off the court that, you know, are challenging that he's had to deal with, death to some close people in his life, and that has been devastating too. And you know, we've shed some tears together here in these last couple of weeks, and I'm just really proud of him because it's what he's had to overcome is just people don't understand the work that's required and the sacrifice you have to make, and to come off the kind of year he had and to know, all right, I'm going to have a surgery and get myself together, and in June I'm going to be ready to get going again, and I'm fired up, and then to have that taken away from you, you know, and have to do another 3 months of rehab, that ain't a lot of fun. And obviously he was, you know, primed to have a big season, and he still can. But, you know, it's just going to take longer. It's harder on our team, but it is what it is. But, man, what a stud tonight.
Is there a cap on him, man?
Yeah, we're kind of, you know, we were kind of right about there right now. That's, you know, I didn't want to keep going. I kept hoping the trainer wouldn't come down. I don't think the trainer in his right mind was coming down to tell me or PJ that, like, yeah, you know what, I think you're just at about your limit right now. Like, we're going to sit you down with 3 minutes to go in the game. Like, I don't know how that would have gone well, you know. I might have gone to see the AD after and talked about, no, I'm teasing. But, yeah, we've kind of kept him around 20. In a lot of games, we haven't even played him that because he hasn't been up for it. Well, tonight was really the first time that I felt like I saw PJ's exuberance, right? I mean, he's a happy-go-lucky, fun kid. I mean, he really is. I've told you guys, he's like he's nice as you can imagine. And he's fun to be around, and like you see it in his play. Like he that's how he is. He's got a little goofy in him, and it's fun. And it's like he's fun to be around because you play with him, he's fun. Like, you watch him as a fan, and he's fun to watch, right? Like he's into it. Like he's animated. He's emotional. And that's why some of this is hard, because he is emotional. Like that's his personality. So he takes things very serious and very personal. And so, when he doesn't feel like he's doing his thing, and it bothers him. He cares.
With Chase, you talked about just a tough night and some foul trouble.
Yeah, just a little bit of all that. I said, man, the guy's played unbelievable, right? I mean, like he's carried us in a lot of these games. He carried us against Iowa. He carried us against Cal in a lot of ways. He was very beat up after the Cal game. Like the 2 games back to back, I mean, he was physically exhausted. And obviously the 4 guys didn't practice the next day, whatever that was, Tuesday maybe. What is today? Today's Tuesday, so that was Sunday, whatever that was. They practiced a little bit on Monday, and I didn't think he looked very good. Like I just thought he looked tired and lethargic and a little slower. And I hoped that he would have his juice today. And he really had he probably had 4 or 5 shots that are like rimming in and out on him, and he got one to go in on the 3. But he just had a tough night. I told him, hey, man, since you took the night off on tonight, we mind showing back up on Friday? We're going to need you. He laughed and said he'd be here, so we'll see how it goes.
What do you do schedule-wise now? As many games as y'all played, now you're back.
It's been hard. It's hard to get better because you're not practicing enough on some of the things that you want to practice. But so we're working the freshmen really hard. We worked the freshmen and sophomores really hard right after we got back from Cal the next day, Sunday, I guess it was. They had a good practice for an hour and a half, and the older guys really didn't do much. And then everybody did a little bit yesterday, and we'll do a little bit. Like they'll do more again tomorrow. The older guys won't do much. It's hard. You got to mentally be sharp, though.
Back to Chase, if you told before the game he's going to be 1 for 12.
Yeah, I thought it would be hard to win. It would be.
That's a good thing.
It's a great thing. That's why I told our team in the locker room. This was an unbelievable team win where the contributions from everybody were huge. Ben Middlebrooks was huge. I mean, Ian had some big baskets. Like we went to Ian when they were small. We were punching it in there to Ian to try to score. And Josh coming in giving us what he gave. The freshmen did fine. Freshmen did well in their, 6 or 7 minutes in the first half, most of them. So all those minutes matter, especially when it goes to 50 minutes, right? And then hopefully that just saves guys' legs just a touch. And so really proud of them.
Any more questions?
Let's go home. What do you think? It's been a long night.